You know, I want to talk about the Pokemon fandom. Not in an angry, ranty way, but calmly. I got really mad at this fandom, and I think that's for good reason. This fandom is just so toxic, bitter, and self destructive. And even after all this time, I think that this rings true. This toxicity is dangerous to everyone in and around this fandom. And it really needs to stop. Not just for the sake of everyone in the fandom, but for those just joining. The kids who wanted to or are getting involved in the series. They're going to join the fandom. And what will be there to greet them when they get involved? Toxicity, hatred, and an overall just putrid atmosphere. And we're going to let our kids enter that without knowing what lies ahead. It's gotten to the point where I can't say to all you parents out there to get your kids into the series. Not because of the quality of the games or the show or the cards, but because of the quality of the community. I don't want to have to advise not to. I want future generations to experience this great series. I want them to be surrounded by a community of friendly people who like and respect each other. I look at this fandom today and see something completely different to what I once knew. The Pokemon fandom I know likes and respects each other. We were all friends. Now it's become a toxic, fragmented cesspool that barely resembles what it was. This fandom was a shell of its former self, and that's why I left. I just couldn't take it anymore. But this doesn't mean we can't rebuild. This is the dark age of the Pokemon fandom. We reached the lowest point in this fandom's lifespan. The golden age was from 1996 to 2010. 14 years of this golden age. But then Black and White happened. Not to slag on the games, but this was when the golden age ended, and we entered what we now know as the Dark Age. The Dark Age spans from 2011 to the present day. That's 9 years. Less than the golden age, but it feels like it's been forever since this golden age. 2011 was when the term Gen 1er came about. For those of you who don't know, Gen 1er is a term used to describe those who think the Game Boy games were the be-all, end-all of the series. The only other generation they sometimes acknowledge is Gen 2. They can be classified by saying things like, Gen 3 is Pokemon, or remember Pokemon in the 90s? Those were the days. These modern games just don't work. Or Pokemon ended after 2001. Yeah, that's Gen 1 talk. 2012 is when a lot of the critics of Game Freak's modern games say the last good games came out. While I do love Black and White too, I wouldn't say they're the last good games. Hell, Gen 7 is my second favorite behind Gen 4. 2014 is when the series made the leap to full 3D. And while I think X and Y were rough, I can't deny it was a huge leap forward for the series. Sure, the games were on the side of easy and boring, but come on. We can't all be Ocarina of Time or Mario 64. But I have given a name to these people who think Gen 5 is the last good one. I call them Gen 5ers. It's like a Gen 1er, but for Gen 5. I think this point in 2011, when the Gen 1ers rose up, is when the fandom started becoming toxic and bitter. We live in this dark age of the Pokemon fandom, where you can't say an opinion without being lambasted to hell. The fandom didn't used to be this way. We used to be a whole. These past 4 months have been our Black Death, our bubonic plague, our lowest, darkest point. But now that we hit rock bottom, we can't go any lower. Can we? Sad truth is, we can go lower. In this case, rock bottom has a basement. This fandom, if not cleansed, soon will devolve into anarchy, doxing, radicals, possibly even people getting hurt or killed. I don't want people to die because of this fandom. I don't want that to be the wake-up call for this fandom. That's why I have a call to action to share with you. A wake-up call for the Pokemon fandom. I want to restore this fandom to its former glory. I want a renaissance after this dark age. That's why I want to spread the word and call out this fandom's toxic behaviors. And to do that, I want to use the hashtag Detoxthefandom to give this fandom a wake-up call and to make them realize what they've become. So how do you use this hashtag? Simple. Use to call out toxic behavior in the Pokemon fandom, as well as showcase non-toxic behaviors that they should exhibit. But don't spam it in the comment section of people you don't like. Use it on commenters that are acting toxic. Don't use it to tell someone their opinion is wrong. I'm coming from a neutral position here to tell this fandom enough is enough. It's time to put down your pitchforks and torches, put down your guns and knives, and work together to restore this fandom and usher in a renaissance. I know I want this, and I know you want this. So let's work together to rebuild and reconstruct after the dark age that was 2019. Hashtag Detox the Fandom. Who's with me?